That's always what comes to mind for me is like, who's the one that scales 30 minutes in? Like, okay, that's the slight advantage.
Or I wonder if there's heroes Dota Plus hates and gives negative like points for. Jug maybe?
Like Mirana.
Mirana, yeah. I could see that.
But like, who's the highest win rate in this game? It's Marcy, right? She's done the best. It feels like 71%
as far as this
win rate.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I guess Ursa is 100% win rate with 4 games. Doesn't really count. Okay. Small sample size, but still 100%.
It's not bad. 4 game, that's not a tiny amount of games. It's small, but it says something.
Yeah, I'll go with the Ursa then. Ursa Ench. They're the ones that are going to set things up here for Xtreme Gaming. I should get ourselves into the lanes properly in a second. So it's going to be what? Beastmaster Mirana as your offlane for Infamous, Leo Style the Ember mid, and it will be the Affliction, Marcy position 5 with a Parker Juggernaut. That should be how things get set up there. So what's the lane counterparts? What are they matching into?
Yeah, I mean, on the Xtreme Gaming side, I think they're going to be looking at a Doom Lion lane up in the top lane. I guess there is potential for the Lion, the Ench to swap things around, but Enchantress, Ursa into the safe lane, and then the Paparazzi Puck mid. I feel like across the board, to me, Xtreme Gaming have much scarier lanes. Like this Ursa lane has a lot of kill threat, whether it's with Ench or Lion. And generally, like Doom lanes, as long as if you're free farming as Doom, like that's the outcome you want in your lane. And I just don't see enough kill threat from a Jug Marcy lane. Like Jug playing with a melee support, Marcy 5, I'm just not a big fan of. So it does feel like a lane where Doom's just going to be like chilling and free farming.
Yeah, especially with his Wraith Band, right?
Yeah, I just saw that too. I was like, oh, okay. Want some armor? Want some attack speed, you know?
I mean, bracers are pretty trash items nowadays.
Yep.
We've seen this a fair amount as people, buy the Wraith Band, get the armor, get a little bit tankier. Make sure you don't get chipped away at by Marcy Jug. Like you say, double melee lane should make things a little easier for them.
Yeah. Both teams trying to figure out what some early lanes are. I don't think there's any lane swaps coming out. It definitely could happen. Maybe the Beastmaster wants to dodge the Enchantress, for example. But I think that's just kind of tricky to do. You don't want to put your Jug in the offlane in a scenario where he may just not get farm if the waves at the enemy tower and there's an Enchantress zoning the Jug out all of a sudden.
Well, early wards down, no one really contesting any of these bounty runes. Right-hand side is going to belong to Infamous. It does look like they're trying to sweep across to protect their northern rune. That is already warded up, though, as PYW with his brown boots on this Lion already got there pretty early on. And nice to see the Lion with boots against this Juggernaut Marcy as well, because one of the fears is you're going to get caught out of position and he's the one that could die. But with boots, he's going to be able to slip away from that and maybe even get some of those wave pulls off to give Doom an easier time. DY is going to walk straight up to high ground, rebound into spin, but he's got the Nature's Attendance. The heal's not enough, though, and First Blood. And it's there for Parker. Old 11 does get the bounty rune here, but it will be 2 for 2 across the board, so advantage Infamous.
Yeah, they were waiting for him. They were ready, and the level 1 heal, maybe he would have gone that anyways, but all of a sudden, this Beastmaster is like, oh, no enchant to worry about. I mean, he's already committed to the axes, but that is a really big boost to the Infamous early game. I talked about how these lanes can be pretty important to not fall behind, and getting an early First Blood like that and Jug getting the kill can be really nice for this top lane.
Yeah, I mean, what's that going to give Parker? Faster boots, faster into the phase. We'll see if he goes for the blades or the boots first. Probably wants the move speed to be able to catch up and keep that spin going.
Yep. I like what Lou does there. He tanks an arrow, and I'm pretty sure he does it intentionally so he can deny the range creep down bottom. He doesn't get the deny because Frank actually uses the wild axes, but a pretty clever little thing where it's like, okay, I'll tank some damage just to not give you a free range creep so that we can try and win the race to level 2, because level 2 in lane is so important.
Oh, that's pretty clever. Yeah, good stuff. In the mid lane, Paparazzi against Leo Style, we see you there. Currently dead even between the two of them, but this gets very interesting once we get into that level 4, level 5, and especially when they get their ultis up. Yeah. Very likely going to see that Leo Style, like you mentioned, the slight build with the Orb of Corrosion, deal with the puck just by spamming the physical right-click damage.
Every mid player has played so much of this mid matchup on both sides, I feel like. Top lane, PYW.
Ooh, even with the boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, Parker just comes straight back on in.
Parker's like, I'm going to do this in style and keep the boots in the backpack. Don't even need them.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He swaps them in now. That's quick enough regardless. They've hit their level 2, haven't they? There's the Marcy with the rebound plus as it looks like Affliction here going to come back and start stacking up some camps as well.
Yeah, this is, I mean, you feel pretty good when you can leave your carry alone to go stack this early on, and you've already got your Jug 2 kills, so amazing start to the safe lane, and for the Jugs game at least.
Yeah, they're trying to make up for it in the mid lane. TP mid from Lion, refills the bottle for Paparazzi, gets his water rune. Starting to fall behind Leo Style in the last hits though, as he also gets his bottle refilled nicely. Spin up top again. Parker just keeps on going for it. He grabs a killing spree, 3 kills for your Jug now. And he's free farming as well. This is scary times.
Yeah.
For Xtreme Gaming.
And it's not like they're doing anything crazy or unexpected. This is just typical Jug lane things. Like, okay, stun into spin and get some kills, and it's just kind of snowballing out of control. Like, the Jug started getting these early kills, so he got a fast level 3, which means level 2 Blade Fury. Quite a bit more damage coming out. He's got the, you know, the fast boots to help chase people down. So it all kind of trickles back to that first blood where, you know, it just adds up over the course of the gaming. It's given this Jug a big enough edge to crush this top lane.
Yeah, I don't want to curse him or anything, but it's kind of wild to see how far Parker has come over the past 3-4 seasons of the SADPC. Yeah. He was a pub star. He jumped around teams. We had a little bit of a poke at him early on in this broadcast, but he has absolutely, you know, improved in pro games. That's for damn sure. Yeah. I remember a game he was playing Monkey King. He bought Man to AC when he needed a BKB. He was like, no, I'm going to play my style. He's definitely very unique in his item builds. Yeah. Sometimes, but I think he's calmed down a lot recently.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned just his history of, like, you know, being on so many different teams. If you're like a stable best player in your role, generally that's not the case. So your team wants to keep you. So it definitely highlights that he's improved. I mean, he's made it to this last chance qualifier with Infamous. So, you know, great to see that progression. And, you know, he's showing results here. Infamous starting in the lower bracket, and they're currently coming out with a really strong start here against one of the teams that most people have as one of the favorites to come out of the LCQ.
Yeah, absolutely right. Already down in this lower bracket. But we're 4 minutes in. This Juggernaut has his phase boots. A quick little stun there from PYW, though. Going to try and keep Old 11 in this lane, but they jump straight back in onto him again. Parker and Affliction, quite a bit of damage. We'll see if Old 11 can get away from this. Does have a salve and a stun from PYW to fall back on, as we do get a kill on Frank down bottom. Ursa Ench finally getting the job done.
Yeah. At some point, probably Xtreme Gaming were like, oh, let's just, how's this Jug doing this? Can we do this bottom lane now with, I mean, that's what Ursa's meant to do, right? So they find their own opening here, and that's something they're gonna probably keep trying to find more and more kills here. Enchant level 2, Ursa about to hit level 4, so probably see a second point in Earth Shock plus Fury swipes, and the kill threat is there very much. It's top lane. Once again, going in here.
Oh, good stun.
Yeah, gets the stun.
PYW catches him pre-spin. A bit of a turn onto Affliction, but he's all right. Yeah, but you're right, that bottom lane, Frank is absolutely exposed if he steps too far forward. Michael, the Mirana, probably not a target they can go on unless you waste the leaps early on, then you go in for round 2 or round 3. Paparazzi taking a beating from Leo Style, gets shoved back towards his tier 1. An arrow missed bottom. Means DY can just keep hitting into Frank. Lots of back and forth in all of these lanes.
I'm curious to see how Paparazzi addresses this mid lane, like being this low. Yeah, he's just going to go trip back to base. This is kind of what became of the Ember versus Puck matchup. At some point, the Slight plus Blightstone harass is just too much, and you either need teammates who, like, you know, your supports to feed so they can refill your bottle, or you just have to do these base trips.
Back up top again. Rebound into spin, and Old 11. Well, he's pretty speedy. 4-1 charges. PYW gets a stun onto Affliction, and they're not going to be able to finish him off. Very healthy still. Xtreme Gaming in that top lane. And it looks like Infamous now a little worse for wear. Don't have too much regen to their names. A salve from Affliction, but nothing really here for Parker. And he's got no healing ward either. He's gone for 2 points in the Blade Dance, so that means he's not going to get it to like level 7.
Yeah, he's got the level 2 sidekick in lane 2, so he's just going like all in on these right clicks, bonus damage plus crits, and trying to right click down the Doom a bit in lane. But he may be in some trouble now. Has the greed got the better of him?
Spin. It might have, but he turns to find that kill. Dominating, still going to die. Affliction not close enough by to save his Jug. So that dominating streak finally coming to a close. As PYW bullied back by the Marcy.
I think Doom just needs to turn and right-click there. He probably dies regardless, but getting one more right-click in soon, it would have been close at least. At the same time, it was very close. If he survives the spin, that insta-hex would stop Jug getting any right-clicks off, so either option was going to be very close, but bottom lane, you can see the Ursa continue to have his fun down here. He's catching up to the Jug in terms of overall farm and doing his best to keep heroes out of the bottom lane.
Yeah, force Infamous back. I see some nice stacks from PYW in the triangle area as well. An Omni Slash top though, with Affliction here having disposed. He gives a side kick to Parker and they dive under this tier 1s, nothing to stop them. Now up to 5-1 on your Juggernaut. Already has his Javelin, well on the way to Maelstrom.
Yeah, this is the kind of, I think, plays that Parker became known for, where he's just like all-out aggression. He's not one of these character players that just likes to kind of sit back and AFK farm it up and, you know, try and hit GPM records. He likes to go for these kills in lane.
Well, Frank, he's going to get found. Yeah, Lou and DUI there, some good body blocks from the Shard Golems. I'm kind of curious though, we're now 8 minutes in almost, and we haven't seen the mid laners rotated. Are they just so secure in the fact that this lane is going to go decently for them? They're not moving into side lanes?
Yeah, maybe depending on what power rune they got before. It was an Invis rune that the Ember picked up, so I think like a haste perhaps changes the equation a bit, but this 8-minute rune not even going to go to the mid laners. But yeah, there's just been so much fighting on these side lanes that a lot of the aggression usually comes from support rotations, and we just haven't seen those as much. But here comes the Puck, rotating top to kill the Jug.
Yeah, finally comes in. Arrow's going to slide in towards the Doom, and Juggernaut blown up by the final orb of Paparazzi.
Great call for the rotation, knowing that Jug didn't have the mana there for a Blade Fury, and just finding a great first coil usage. So you kind of called for it, like, where are these mid lane rotations? And Paparazzi finds an amazing one.
He does. He's still losing out on the XP war with Leostar, though. Level 8 already on the Ember Spirit. Paparazzi a little bit further behind, of course, sharing some of that XP with the Doom up top. Now to see what Infamous do, because I was kind of expecting, you know, 9-10 minutes in, we get that move down to bottom lane with your Juggernaut, but it looks like he's respawned, come back to top. There is a double wave up here to get all that golden XP. It means that there's no real pressure on low and no real push down bottom into that tier 1. And Infamous going to get found out in that top lane. Affliction down to the 3 members of XG.
Yeah, this is, I think, Xtreme Gaming making a statement that they want to try and fight over and control this top part of the map. And now that Puck's got TP up in another 5 seconds, they're going to have that, again, kind of global TP potential from the Puck. And he can kind of, you know, find some more kills as we saw earlier. This top lane just doesn't feel like a safe place for Jug to be farming. Parker's already rotated in the jungle to try and prioritize farming up some of these stacks.
A nice little hurricane by DUI. Pushes him down to low ground, gets away from them as he scouted out and tried to steal some of those stacks that you mentioned. And Infamous, they've got 2 supports up at that top rune spot, waiting for 10 minutes to hit. Yep. So Leostar can find maybe a nice active rune for himself. But this, of course, continues to leave the Ursa alone down bottom, completely free farming as they do jump DY. Good chain stuns onto the Enchantress, find a snipe onto the Ench.
Take one for the team, especially when you see it's that haste rune that finally comes out. That's the big room for an Ember Spirit. He is out of mana, so he didn't want to actually pop it and use it. He probably wants to try either get it clarity or go back to base and TP out to really maximize the value of this haste rune, because this is the rune that can create kill opportunities for Infamous. But we'll see where that's going to be. The fact that Ursa's able to stay in this bottom lane free farm alone without support, that's the biggest concern right now. And that's really goes back to the fact that Frank had such a rough lane on the Beastmaster, because generally safe lane carries aren't able to kind of stay in their lane past 10 minutes by themselves.
Yeah, and comparatively, what, he's sub 3k net worth. Your Doom closing in on 4.5. Gets his Hand of Midas now on old 11 with some stacks here as well. So plenty of money to be made for the Doom and the rest of XG.
Yeah, and they're happy
getting that guaranteed neutral
to kind of play this, you know, a little bit slow. They've got a Doom going on their side. They're going to rotate in the Puck, but they'll make these plays to find kills. But they're not really looking to like force any objectives too early on. They'd much rather play the game where they take team fights and defend their objectives.
Oh, Infamous, a little bit of in and out. Nice micro there with a Centaur, trying to get in front of the arrow, but the Ursa still gets clipped by it. Doesn't matter in the end. Some good warding, though, from Affliction, I've got to say. The kind of sneaky ward near the top secret shop has seen a lot of these movements from XG.
Yeah.
Now, TPing and rotating there in behind the Doom, and now a couple of wards around mid. Looking for those transition from the jungle, from triangle back towards mid lane, and even spotting directly on top of the Enchantress here. So Axel, he wanted to try rebound, dispose, arrow combo, but I think they got a little bit caught up there.
Yeah, DY seems to know what's going on. Yeah, amazing vision coming out from the Infamous side, but unfortunately, I feel like Xtreme Gaming are making these really nice moves that, like, TPing the Urset in the mid-tier 1 tower to defend it. Like, it's a very, like, unexpected kind of move, and not the hero you think's going to TP there, but he's able to do so because he's got the ultimate that protects him from the Ember, and that Ember then ends up kind of wasting the haste rune without getting any kills.
Oh, we finally have the helm on Frank. He's so happy. Tier 1 dead, got my helm. Now I can start playing some Dota 2 properly. Sit in the spot lane and shove it out. Yep. Take control of that bottom jungle. And even has 2 supports playing in front of him as well.
Yeah, on the Infamous side, they are ready to really take over this bottom side of the map. I mean, they've already got the tier 1 tower. They want to now try and clear out this Radiant jungle and make the swing towards this mid-tier 1 tower. The mid-tier 1 tower would be the big objective for them, so we'll see what Xtreme Gaming can do as far as defending it goes, or if they just want to give it up.
Oh, that's the thing, right? We saw it coming. If I can see a strat coming into play, you're damn sure that Xtreme knew this was going to start happening. A shift from bottom into mid, the dominoes start toppling. So control of the map does belong to Infamous here in the bottom right-hand corner. But the net worth lead, it belongs to Xtreme, still 2k ahead. Out-farming their opponents and still looking to scale into that, mid to late game with Ursa nearly having Battle Fury, Doom with the Midas nearly has Blink. Pieces are falling into place for them.
This just seems like some kind of classic Doom gaming. You give up a tower or two just to get your greed on, get your Midas going, and get some good farm. But they're going to smoke up now. Very unusual smoke timing, considering they're close to, like, Lion's Blink. They're doing this without any kind of Blink initiation, and they may pay the price.
Yeah, Lion walked straight back into them. I knew the Moonlight Shadow was there, and Parker with Leo style going to find the Doom as well.
This is
Xtreme might lose the Enchantress under their tier 2, but the coil onto Leo style. Maybe a turnaround play, but he's got Fairy Fire and tons of backup. A cavalry arrives, that is a great glyph. So many projectiles flowing out of Xtreme Gaming's side, but they lose 3. Not a single life claimed by them, as Infamous just run over them.
Yeah.
The steamroller is in play.
Honestly, just, I think, terrible smoke. I don't understand that smoke whatsoever. Lion's like 300 gold from Blink. Puck, he's far from Blink. Like Puck's probably the one calling for that. Like, I've got all my spells. I'm level 10. I'm pretty strong. You don't need Blink to make those moves. But it just felt like a very forced play from Xtreme Gaming. Like, Ursa doesn't want to TP in and fight. He's farming up a Battle Fury. Doom's got Brown Boots Midas. Why is he smoking? I'm just not sure. That's quite the time or place to go for that kind of a smoke move, particularly against an Infamous team who have, like, set up camp in that jungle.
Yeah, so, like you said, double Blink timings were nearly there. A little bit out of sync with the rest of the team. Still holding on, though, to that slight net worth lead, but Parker, it looks like, is finally going to get Infamous up at the top here with an Ancient Stack being taken out by the Jug. Such a nice combo with this Marcy. I guess it's anyone with Sidekick nowadays just feels incredibly powerful.
Yeah. Parker is sitting back on top of the net worth after recent events. On the Ursa with the Battle Fury could look to change that up a little bit. Definitely interesting. Like, Xtreme Gaming, once again, trying to really control this bottom jungle. They've got 4 sentries in their jungle. They tried to clear out all this vision, make it 5 sentries. Like, they're not just trying to play the farm game, but they are trying to, like, push Infamous away from their side of the map.
And we'll see if they do that, because Frank still down here with his boars, trying to shove it back in, and he was being eyed up by Old 11 and DY. It doesn't look like they want to commit to anything, though, as they are being wrapped around on a little bit by the rest of Infamous. Affliction and Michael.
Feels like they need to get out of this bottom side of the map with how fewer heroes they have down here. They can use DY's Enchantress maybe to get some intel, scout things out with the creep, or even just throw away his life to, like, tank a smoke gank. Although right now it's just Mirana solo smoke, so doesn't look like Infamous is going to find anything right away here. A lot of their aggression has come from these power runes. Like, the last fight down bottom was an Arcane rune on Leo Styles Ember, so just an Invis rune here, but he's going to use that to try and scope things out a little bit.
No, they do have a sentry not too far away. And Paparazzi, obviously seeing Leo Style now, going to back up a little bit. But we're getting to the point where Infamous, 300 gold away from BKB on the Ember Spirit, rushing that, playing into the tempo they've got. Manta Style just a recipe away from Parker now, as he clears out the right-hand side jungle. DY gonna get jumped on down bottom. Anch does get the heal out, but there's an awful lot of damage from the Beastmaster, and Ember Spirit arriving to clear her up.
Yep. I think it's okay. I mean, that's the kind of positioning and play, like, I think for Xtreme Gaming that you just feel kind of neutral about. I mean, for Infamous, you want to make sure you're, not letting Xtreme Gaming get all the farm through their jungle as well as the top side of the map. But as far as Enchantress goes, her job is to kind of protect her cores who are, they're trying to farm it up. They got a Midas Doom. Now you got a Puck who wants to finish off this Blink Dagger, which is now coming out. Ursa's got Blink, so if there's a time to smoke, it's more like now for Xtreme Gaming. Although Old 11 would love to finish his BKB first.
Oh, he would. Still a bit away though, and yeah, Eng basically just face tanking everything.
Yep.
Go walk up to the front lines. One of the better heroes to do it. Fluffy hat, magic wand, get into the mech as quickly as she can. And they are all moving down to bottom, looking like they want to smoke as 4. No vision here from Infamous. They've got like a Tinker Ward on the bottom side of the map. Nothing that's going to see this move coming though. And Parker, he's going to get the BKB off on Leostar. Actually, Leostar just turning and killing one. 1v4, and the Ember Spirit says, nah, I've got a BKB 18 minutes in, you can't get me.
That works great, yeah. I mean, for Leostar, like, sure, it's your full 9-second BKB, but you tank a smoke gank, you kill a support, you get out of there. And also, it's like the mental victory, too. Your opponents just went for a 4-man smoke gank off their blink timings, and, they lost the 4v1 battle.
Yeah, I was looking at Parker and thinking, hey, it's a bit spooky. Maybe he gets jumped on, he gets doomed, they get the kill on him. Suddenly there's a lone there, and he's like, nah. Bodyguarding the Juggernaut with this Ember Spirit. They're very quickly across the map as well. Infamous, not sticking around in that bottom jungle. They know that they can leave a couple of heroes there and maybe go for a play with the Marana and the Jug. It looks like Parker is pinging.
He's hunting.
Knowing that
he may get the Omni Slash. Oh, we got, yes!
A hit, a slash, gets the Maelstrom strike in, and Old 11 sliced down with a final crit into the back of the head from Parker.
He read him like a book. That was so damn good. Mid lane, maybe the Beastmaster's going to go down. The Finger of Death being committed. But honestly, that kill from Parker, he was playing in fog. The Doom was not visible to him, but he just knew exactly where he was on the map. And as he comes around the corner, he makes sure he gets the right click off to cancel the Blink Dagger away so that he can Omni Slash, because there's that slight kind of cast point to it. So just amazing play from Jug there.
So good. So good. At the very least, they do get that finger onto the Beastmaster at that bottom room. Yep. So it doesn't look like Infamous are able to, because that kill could have led to Roshan, right? With Beastmaster alive, you maybe shift into there and get that Aegis, because Leostar has been pinging it out for the past couple of minutes. Xtreme Gaming with an Ursa on their side absolutely do not want that to happen. You kind of require the first couple of Roshans and those Aegises to be in the hands of Ursa here.
Yeah, but very difficult to do. The vision that Infamous can use arrows, can use hawks. Ember can kind of just, frontline with the BKB potentially. I guess you've got to be a little bit careful. Lion's Blink Hex does pose that kind of insta-kill threat that, you have to be very wary of, but it's Infamous who go into the pit here. Enchantress Skeletons can come in to scout this one out, so we could be in for a bit of a fight here.
Yeah, they'll get the vision. Arcane Rune has spawned up at top. Infamous hard committing for the pit though, as the arrow gonna get in onto DUI. Kill the Enchantress first. One hero down, Roshan still alive. He's at half HP, and Paparazzi with PYW from the northern side still want to try and find an angle inwards. Eleven and low. They're maybe gonna jump in. The roar on the Ursa though, and Roshan's gonna fall, allowing Parker to take the Aegis, and they'll turn on the Ursa and kill him off. Infamous not only get that Aegis for themselves, but kill the Ursa in the process. Yeah,
the vision game, just seeing everything coming in. They had the Hulk over the trees, and he has to enrage that roar. Like, you have a chance to use enrage during the cast animation, but I think he just didn't want to waste it, because he's like, okay, I'm gonna say, it kind of, it's just the greedy approach where it's like, I want to contest this Roshan, I need enrage so that I can like dive into this pit, grab an Aegis, and then enrage myself out of there. But the chain stun potential of an arrow following up a roar just means Ursa just gets deleted from full to nothing.
Yeah, and now you see Xtreme Gaming trying to kind of scramble around, get a bit of a push up top. You can't defend that tier 2 mid, so outpost unlocked now here for Infamous. I don't see Old 11 just yet, but this read, they know that he was nearby. They know where he's heading. He will get back to tier 2, doesn't go under the vision of that high ground ward they've had for a while. But still control here from the South American squad down bot.
Yeah, they're just doing a great job finding kills wherever they go. They've got a Yule Scepter on Miranda now, giving them another setup and another way to kind of make some of these plays. And most importantly, to just kite this damn Ursa. Yule Scepter is just going to ruin Lou's teamfight until he gets like a BKB. For now, he's got the Basher queued up, but I feel like he may just have to prioritize BKB a bit more.
Yeah. And we've seen even, later on into the game, these Wind Wakers become very popular through the LCQ, saving heroes from black holes and the like, to make sure that your carries are kept alive. So if someone does get blink hexed or coiled or doomed or bashed, maybe in 20 minutes time we'll have Michael there with the Wind Waker to save them. But for now, it is a 5-man group up, reclaiming the bottom half of the map for Infamous. Granite Golem going to tank up Parker so he can frontline very easily.
They may go high ground here. They've got everything they really need.
Yeah.
3 minutes on an Aegis. You've got a Lincoln's Jug to kind of siege with, and a Granite Golem to kind of buff everyone up with an extra 15% health. How do you defend this? I just don't think Xtreme Gaming really have the best tools to take a fight here.
It's difficult, and they saw with that arrow the TP in. Parker gets the spin in onto the Lion, and he's going to drop quickly. Yep. Buybacks available for PYW, but you've already lost your tier 3. And Leostal placing that aggressive remnant, a signal of intent, saying, hey, you step an inch too far forward, I will dive you.
Yep. You throw everything to kill me, I've got a remnant to buy back TP2 as well, he says. But they're going to take bottom with ease. They're already drawing lines to mid lane as if to say, let's just go do the exact same thing in mid. We've still got a full 2 minutes. They did that. That was 3 minutes on Aegis. That took 40 seconds, and they got a full lane. So
that's ridiculous.
They're going for more. Jug does TP to push out top, and a bit of a smoke here. So maybe they're not going to just try and barrel down mid lane, and they're going to prioritize some of these outer towers here. One of the nice things with the glyph changes is you're not going to reset the glyph by taking this top tier one. So they can just get all this gold up top and focus on the opposite side of the map and really try and pull Xtreme Gaming apart, where they have to, keep bottom pushed out against super creeps while also defending top.
Yeah, right. Like, Xtreme only has this one glyph. The tier 1, the tier 2, not going to reset it, right?
Nope.
So you got to be very careful with how you use it. You don't want to glyph this top tier 1. You probably don't want to glyph a tier 2. Always very awkward to fight around. And the Dire has so many advantages in terms of terrain and the ability to advance forward through the staircases. Xtreme completely abandoning top. Trying to trade out with a tier 1 push down bottom.
They're going to have to get back fast. Like, they're going to look at this push and be like, they're going high ground once again. They did take the slower route through the top lane, but they've still got a full minute on Aegis, and getting a 4-Rax lead this early on would be crippling.
I mean, Ench trying to beat back Parker, but he's on your tier 3, and looks like he's going to kill it with ease. The rest of Xtreme are starting to come back. The jump in, the Aegis claimed. Ursa, though, roared up. He did have his enrage as Old 11 gets the wall stomped down. Affliction up on the high ground, fingered and killed. So Infamous realizing that the brute force method not quite working out this time, and the tier 3 still stands. There's a decent period of time, though, there with the Aegis getting that bottom laner axe, taking control of the map. Yep. But XG with a bit of breathing room now.
Yeah, and that's all they need. They probably aren't feeling like this game is even close to being lost. They were down 4 racks against Secret. They did have a better late game draft to kind of fall back on with a Terrorblade. This time around, you're looking at Battle Fury Ursa does scale well, does have good farming capabilities with the Battle Fury, but yeah, combine that with a Doom, Puck, who's going to have a Lincoln Sphere, who honestly, Puck is a late game hero. So they're probably feeling like this game is maybe still 50-50, at least from their perspective, despite being down a racks.
It might just be. Oh, another smoke from Infamous, wanting to claim a little bit more territory. They've got the gem on the Beastmaster as well to remove some of this extreme vision, which has been lacking in the past few minutes.
Been popped.
You are correct, and Parker there with the help of the chains. Phase shift comes, the arrow slides by. Paparazzi has a waning rift and an orb to jaunt to. Gets off to the high ground while Affliction was aiming for a bonus target. Old 11 getting on his slash down. The jump back in from the Ursa now. Oh, Leo style saved by the roar of Frank. Infamous, they go in and quickly remove themselves from the fight.
Yeah, very close.
What did we spend there?
Both Puck and Doom living on by a sliver there. I mean, Puck with a decent amount of health, but it was just the fact that Lincoln's had been popped and Marcy was in hot pursuit trying to finish him off. So, and Doom very close to going down with the BKB on cooldown. So that's the kind of, you know, engagement that Xtreme Gaming feel great about. Like, okay, they ran at us, they really tried to, you know, kill us and in a really, like, kind of vulnerable position, and we managed to escape, get some more time to farm, get those next couple of items up. And if you're Xtreme Gaming, you're thinking like, you know, let's think about next Roshan. Can we contest it? Are we just giving it up to trade for farm? Infamous, definitely, you know, I think feeling a bit of pressure, like they're the ones who need to keep making these aggressive moves.
Yeah, there's always that fear, right? I was looking at the ultimates, the green lights at the top. Infamous used pretty much everything, while we still had Coil and Doom available from Paparazzi and Old 11. So maybe when we get those utilized as initiation tools rather than reactive tools, we could see Xtreme Gaming on even footing, a fight taken on their terms, come out a little bit better.
Yeah, no,
But that Roshan's always going to be the key pivotal position on the map. 1 minute at the very least for him to respawn. And that's why Infamous here sat in the enemy triangle, right?
Yep. Camping even the secret shop, killing couriers that are trying to go out to buy some items, just being as annoying as possible. This vision around the pit is going to be very hard for Xtreme Gaming to kind of fight into unless they, you know, get some. They're going to have to use a smoke, and even then, it's kind of hard. You're going to have to smoke, get some wards down, and really try and be the ones getting the jump for once, because it feels like every fight so far, it's been Infamous starting things off.
Paparazzi feeling the need to deny that tier 3 as it was being chipped away at by summons and creep waves coming in. Infamous not going to give up their position, though. Just keep holding on to this high ground area. As Xtreme were the ones to filter back to their base, leaving that bottom lane to try and push in naturally with the creep wave. Axel's going to sit in the pit as well. 10 seconds until fast spawn, buddy. You got a bit of waiting to do.
Yeah, he's like, I'm ready. I'm ready for this like 1 second roast respawn, guys. I'll scout it out instantly.
Go on then.
No,
1 minute.
You know, not the worst.
Not too bad. Well, it looks like, yeah, smoke time from XG. Puck's out on that top wave to clear it out. Try and deal with that Black Dragon and the boars. Incredibly annoying. As like you said at the end of the draft, the Puck is the wave shove, right? The wave clear is all on Paparazzi.
And he's died 0 times this game, despite some kind of scary heroes on the other team. So far it's been a pretty flawless game from Paparazzi. He's made some decent rotations to kill the Jug in the top lane, but here we go. The Roche standoff begins. They do get the D ward off on the cliff now, so they've regained control of their triangle, but they tank an arrow on Ench.
Oh, do we jump in on this? Leo Star says, absolutely we do. DY gets cleared through. Parker there with the help of the Roar, just shredding into the Lion, and Paparazzi doesn't even get the kill on Michael. The mech and the leap away as low does turn around on the Frank, but the bash, the damage coming in from this Omni Slash. Juggernaut will aim straight for the Ursa. Another bash to the back of the head. Ursa's dead, and Parker comes out with a double kill as Roshan is about to spawn.
Oh, that's so nice. And I mean, this basher pickup, it's, you know, it's a pretty standard item for a Jug, but getting it this early on, giving all this extra control. You've got a Lincoln's Puck who, you know, thinking he can just kind of play around the Lincolns, the phase shift, but you just never expect a Jug to be the one to stun you up and control you. Same for the Ursa, who just got completely locked in a place there. So amazing fight for Infamous, and they'll secure themselves Roshan off of it as well.
I mean, that D-ward, right? Okay, you remove the vision, but the fact they've got long-range initiation through the arrow just makes that move that should have been blind up into high ground a little easier for Infamous with the Moonlight Shadow. And watching it back, Ursa, he goes deep for that Beastmaster kill, but ultimately pays the price. And now you're looking at Leo style with a DD rune, BKB Lincolns on the Ember, ready to go shoving into these tier 3s again.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the last time with an Aegis going high ground. It was the easiest lane of racks imaginable. This time around, Xtreme Gaming are a decent amount stronger than the last push, but having Aegis in hand is going to make things very, very, I feel like, straightforward for this push for Infamous. Just chuck a Lincoln's on Jug. He can just go up with the Blade Fury and right through the buildings.
Yeah, Ursa, he's gone in to try and fight him. Does have his shard, so you've got these enrages coming out of the Earthshock still.
So if you're Xtreme Gaming, the key to defending high ground is killing the Aegis without committing any big spells.
Yeah, nice to see old Levin going for the Devour talent at 15. Killing off some of these Beastmaster creeps. Very, very handy. Yeah. I've seen quite a few tools like that nowadays. You know, the Night Stalker with his.
Hey, this poor
Enchantress.
Beastmaster. Like, I mean, he's making himself still impactful through like getting a halberd, getting the shard as well. But definitely the creeps have been completely mitigated to at least some extent.
And if we get a bit later, you know, oh my god, Enchantress, no, not like this. Parker just offering so much damage, and the Ursa dead as well.
Yeah.
That's game over, isn't it?
It's got to be.
Parker with a triple kill.
Yeah, they GG out. 32 minutes. This is one of the quicker games we've had, considering how long some of the games on this patch have gone. They just destroy Xtreme Gaming here.
Incredibly speedy gameplay from Infamous here in game 1, 9-22. A very, very fast start to this series. I mean, yeah, we kind of expect Xtreme, like you were talking about, to have the upper hand, maybe be the better team. But Infamous, with this kind of draft and the speed at which they played, really showing us they can stand up against the best of them.
Yeah, I had some doubts about the Jug pick. I thought it was one of those heroes that is going to, like, it does everything all right, but isn't like, it doesn't fully round out the